Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we will do Bengin lab on Tryhackme. Without further ado, let's get started. Start lab mission. This is where Splunk is running, and we will access Splunk from attacker box. So also start attacker mission. Both missions will take few minutes to boot up. Meanwhile, let's read the scenario. One of the client's ideas indicated a potentially suspicious process execution, indicating one of the hosts from the HR department was compromised. Some tools related to network information gathering, scheduled tasks, were executed, which confirmed the suspicion. Due to limited resources, we could only pull the process execution logs with the event ID 4688. This event ID 4688 similar to Sysmon event ID 1 and ingested them into Splunk with the index win event logs for further investigation. About the network information, the network is divided into three logical segments. It will help in the investigation. And we have a list of usernames from, from different departments. Let's copy target IP address and access it. Let's access Splunk. It is loading. It might take few minutes. Before we start analyzing, since we only have one event ID 4688 relates to process creation activity, let, let's quickly take a look at what fields we have, and based on the field names we can use filters. And important field name is command line, host name, username, process ID, and process name. Now let's take a look at all the users involved in the logs by using stats command. Stats count by username, and there are two similar usernames, which is Amelia, where all the other users have more events, only one user account, which is imposter user account, have one event, and also I is replaced by one. Attackers create fake accounts impersonating legit users to evade detection. And I want to look at this event to see what the impersonated user has performed or executed, and he has executed the command slash user slash groups on the host hr2. This command basically returns user and group information of this user. And let's move on to other questions. And the impersonated account is Amelia, which user from the HR department was observed to be running scheduled tasks. Let's add binary name scheduled tasks.exe, and this process is responsible for managing scheduled tasks like creating, updating, deleting scheduled tasks. If we take a look at top 10 command lines, and we have one created scheduled task using the command create schedule task name is office updater, and it is mapped to the binary update.exe, and this task is set to run when the starts up. Click on it, and the user who created this task is Chris Watt, and the host HR2. We can find the same event by looking at all the command lines. Since in this case there are few command lines, we find out by looking at top 10 values. What if there are more command lines? Again, we can use stats command. We have the same results, and to we can be more specific and add the keyword create to look at only created scheduled task activity, and the user who created the scheduled task is Chris Watt, which user from the HR department executed a system process login to download a payload from file sharing host. Lolbeans are Windows legit binaries. They are available on all Windows operating systems. Attackers abuse them to do malicious activities. And there's a site called Lolbin. Open the website. It lists all the binaries which are legit Windows binaries. These binaries can be used by attackers to perform specific functions like downloading a file, downloading malwares, encoding or decoding payloads, or copying malicious scripts. And these activities are mapped to MITRE attack techniques. If you click on one binary, it will show in detail about how we can abuse them. Now let's go back. Since in the question they asked for the binary which was used to download a file, let's add the download function to the filter, and there are a lot of binaries, and there are two important binaries which is bits admin and subutil. These are widely used by attackers to download files or malwares. I will search for these two binaries if you can find that activity. If not, We will search for all the binaries starting from the start. Let's remove this. It seems like subutil is used. We saw the command when we are searching for this subutil. It was highlighted, and the user Harun from the hostname hr1 used subutil Windows binary file to download a file from this site controlc.com, and the file is saved as bengin.exe on this host. And there is another way to find the same activity by looking at by filtering for HTTP or HTTPS in the easiest way, because the binaries the attacker can abuse will be changed, and domains, URLs, and file names can be changed, but they have to mention or include in the command HTTP or HTTPS so that the file can be downloaded. Well, we have to use capital letters or and it returned the same activity, but this time using we filtered for HTTPS, and the binary the law being used was subtitle, which user from the HR department. It is Harun. To bypass the security controls, which system process login was used to download a payload from the internet. It is subtitle. What was the date that this binary was executed by the infected host? HR1. Copy the time. And did they ask for a specific format? Yeah. Year, month, date. We can remove time. Which third party site was accessed to download the malicious payload? And the site name is controlc.com. What is the name of the file that was saved on the host machine from the C2 server during the post exploitation phase? It is bengin.exe. The suspicious file downloaded from the C2 server contained malicious content with the pattern THM. What is that pattern? To answer this question, we have to visit the suspicious URL, the link from where the user downloaded this file. In real world situations, we won't visit suspicious links directly from our host because we don't know what the attacker is hosting them, a malicious software or a phishing site. Since this is a Tryhackme lab and it is safe to visit the site, and The file name is flag.txt and the content of the file is Tryhackme flag. Attackers can host malicious scripts or malicious files here. What is the URL that the infected host connected to? And it is this.